Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining AUPE and the Occupational Health and Safety Standing Committee in this virtual recognition of the International Day of Mourning. My name is Bonnie Gostola. I am a Vice President of AUPE and the proud Chair of the Occupational Health and Safety Standing Committee. I will be acting as your host for this Day of Mourning ceremony. At this time, I'd like to call on Lee Erickson to please do the treaty acknowledgement.
We wish to acknowledge that we are broadcasting this event to the territories of Treaty 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10, the ancestral and traditional territory of the Cree, Dene, Plains Cree, Ojibwe, Blackfoot, Nakota, Saulteaux, Nakota Sioux, the Nakota Stoney, and Tsuut'ina nations, as well as the Métis. We acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit whose footsteps have marked these lands for generations. We recognize the land as an act of reconciliation and gratitude to those whose territory reside on or visiting. No matter where you're joining us from in Alberta, we are all treaty people.
Thank you, sister. Now I would ask Juanita Kozakar, would you please do the statement of equality?
AUP is committed that all our functions will be protective of individuals' rights to contribute. Participants are expected to challenge and debate issues, not individuals. Participants shall engage in behaviors that are respectful of others' race, gender, sexuality, ethnicity, or occupation. Behaviors that undermine participation, such as harassment, racism, sexism, rude or crude remarks, take away from the rights of individuals to play a part in AUP activities. We encourage members to call each other brother and sister. In doing so, we promote our own solidarity and equality. If you feel your rights have been violated and you are not able to address it, talk to one of the AUP staff or officers to assist you in dealing with your concerns.
Thank you, sister. I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce you to the Occupational Health and Safety Standing Committee. We have Sister Jennifer Corkum from Local 46, Sister Juanita Kozakar, who you just met, from Local 56, Sister Diana Lee Erickson from Local 48, Sister Mary Jane Fisher from Local 45, who was not able to join us today due to work commitments, Sister Paulette Harrison, Vice Chair from Local 52, Samantha Somborski, Local 9, and Oscar Steiner from Local 3. It is on this day around the world where we as workers recognize the loss of workers' lives and the loss of livelihoods due to the injury and illness that resulted as an incident at work. AUPE is proud to honor this day and defend the call for stronger rights of workers who should come to expect to return home at the end of their workday. Every day in Alberta, workers are put into situations where the ultimate cost of doing their job is death. Every day in Alberta, workers are injured or became ill because there is a lack of proper protections, procedures, or knowledge about the safety rules. Every day in Alberta, workers deal with indifference by employers and unfortunately workers who take shortcuts to get their work done. The cost of both physical and mental health cannot be measured. Today, we are confronted with a global pandemic, which has shone the light on the importance of occupational health and safety. Today, AUPE recognizes the sacrifices of every single frontline worker, every worker isolated due to working from home, and every worker who is attacked by those who chose not to believe in the safety of all. We mourn the deaths of so many because they chose to put the welfare of others before their own. Today, we support the grieving of loved ones and co-workers who are no longer graced by the presence of the ones we have lost. Today, so many workers went to work and were injured and became ill and are now facing the loss of income or their livelihoods. Fellow workers, today, since the rise of COVID, all of us have struggled and are facing ordeals and hardships we never thought could happen. We fight every day supporting our fellow Albertans, despite and often in spite of our employers and our government. So many demands have been made upon us, keeping this province running, to care for the elderly and the infirm, to protect vital infrastructure, all while the government reverses protections for all the workers in every single area of health and safety. Today, we honor those workers who have gone above and beyond to defend occupational health and safety. The role in Sumlaka nominations that are made by our members to our members, those co-workers who have recognized the nominees that have gone out to protect not only themselves, but for everyone in their work sites, for everyone in their chapters, and for everyone in their local. There can be no higher honor than to be singled out this way. Every worker who reports to their employer every day are heroes. Let no one diminish the contributions you make to their bottom line. On behalf of the Occupational Health and Safety Committee, I would like to say two very heartfelt words. Thank you. We do not hear those words enough. At this time, I would love to call on our brother, President Guy Smith, who is our guest speaker today, to say a few words.
Well, thank you, Bonnie, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Guy Smith, President of AUPE, and firstly, I'd like to thank the Occupational Health and Safety Committee and our staff for organizing this very important event. And I'd like to welcome all of you to AUPE's annual ceremony to commemorate the International Day of Mourning, a day where we come together to honor the memory of all workers who have lost their lives on the job. Along with mourning our lost union family members, we also come here today to express our support for workers who have been injured or made ill through their work. To the friends, to the families, to the communities of the workers we've lost this year, AUPE offers our sincerest condolences. We know that nothing can replace the people who will be missed by family, loved ones, friends, and fellow workers. What we can do now is to fight in their name, to prevent more workers from being taken from us. And what a year this has been. Since last April, when we made the decision to cancel our day of mourning ceremony for the very first time, Alberta, Canada, and the world have been overcome by a global pandemic. And here in Alberta, workers have borne the brunt of it. You know, governments call us essential workers. They call us frontline heroes. They call us guardian angels. And as much of this province shut down, frontline workers continue to go into work and keep Alberta running and Albertans safe. For our efforts, the government gave us little more than a thank you. So this year has been a year of mourning our lost loved ones, a year of mourning our lost communities, a year of mourning in the increased isolation that a global pandemic requires of us. But this year has also been a year of attacks. We are now halfway through the term of a provincial government that is determined to roll back the measures that keep us safe at work and to dismantle our rights to fight back. This year, we've seen in the midst of an unprecedented crisis, our government strip away our workplace protections. This government has removed the requirement that employers reinstate injured workers to their jobs. It has said that employers no longer need to pay benefits to injured workers, and they've reduced WCB compensation. And it has made it easier for employers to retaliate against workers who refuse unsafe work. To do this at any time is a naked act of aggression by the government against all working people. To do this during a pandemic where workers are getting sick with a deadly virus on the job is class war. And while it is true that all workers are under attack, let us be clear that it is the marginalized workers of color, women, immigrants, single parents, and part-time workers who have suffered the most. So this is our present situation in Alberta, but it does not need to be our future. In the memory of those we've lost, we have a responsibility to fight on for those who are still with us today. You know, as Mother Jones once told striking coal miners in West Virginia, we mourn the dead and we fight like hell for the living. So it's in that spirit that we approach this day of mourning. We demand that Workers' Compensation Board treat all COVID-19 cases for frontline workers as presumptive workplace infections, allowing workers to access WCB benefits. We demand that all workers have access to sufficient PPE and to safe conditions at work. We demand that the government give workers paid sick days and increased pay for the risks of working during this pandemic. We make these demands in the name of our lost co-workers and loved ones. In their name, we fight to make sure that safe workplaces become a reality, to make sure that we lose not one more worker to unsafe working conditions. And we stand with all working people in Alberta, and we remember those workers who have died, been injured, or made ill over this past year. And we will continue to fight to ensure workers return home safely to their loved ones at the end of a hard day's work. Thank you, and in solidarity.
Thank you, Brother Guy. Heartfelt words for sure. And now we will actually go into honoring those members who have stood up at their work sites on a daily basis for the last couple of years, by at first calling on our sister Sam Somborski to present the first award to a recipient who was very worthy from our 2020 Roland Sumlak Awards presentations. Sister Sam.
On behalf of Alberta's Union of Provincial Employees and the Occupational Health and Safety Committee, I am very pleased to honor Lee Erickson as a 2020 Roland Sumlak Award winner. After taking an Introduction to Health and Safety courses through AUPE just under 3 years ago, Dee realized that there were many concerning issues where she worked as a healthcare aide at Bethany Center. Dee knew there were actions that needed to be done, and armed with the knowledge and the desire to have a safe workplace, not only for herself, but for all of the workers, she picked up the torch to make the health and safety her mission. In just short but significant time, she has proven herself. She is willing to sit face to face in the office of the employer and not back down when changes needed to be made. She is also educating and making herself readily available for her coworkers to have a stronger team of individuals standing up for health and safety. Dee has always taken up the call to do the work and for 48 as a liaison, and has put great efforts in to fulfill this position. She spends invaluable time hosting lunch and learns to answer questions and have real talks with people most affected when health and safety is a priority. Her desire to educate and mentor others has led her to creating a set of information cards that helped her reach out to other members at these lunch and learns. These cards were such a great tool for the OHS committee. We are extremely grateful that she has led us to modify them for the general work areas and to have them included in our new OHS liaison orientation booklets. Dee's friendliness and cheerfulness is well partnered with some sass and stubbornness that make her very effective in making real changes in the workforce and in the world of health and safety. Dee, I am so proud to call you my sister around the table of the Health and Safety Standing Committee, and I congratulate you on winning the Roland Sumlak Award. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for those kind words, Sam. All I really have to say is that I found a passion. I'm running with it, and I'm just so honored to be recognized for doing something I found a love and passion for. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Next, I will call on Sister Juanita Kozakar to do our next presentation.
Hello and good afternoon. I am one of the members of the Occupational Health and Safety Standing Committee. I know much like myself, everyone on this webinar has a passion for occupational health and safety. I would like to recognize a very special person who is no stranger to many within the union. When she started with Alberta Health Services in auxiliary nursing in 1991, she had a single vision. That was for her and her coworkers to go home safely to their families after every shift. Knowing that there was violence occurring within the workplace, she soon started challenging management instead of turning a blind eye. This was enough to light a fire of passion and determination to make things better and safe for everyone. In 2008, the staff moved into a new facility, and to much surprise, there was a substantial number of deficiencies. But she went right after management and was able to get them corrected one at a time. One of the biggest changes she accomplished was how gasoline was being allowed to be stored in plastic containers inside other plastic containers inside of buildings. Not only did she get this changed for the better of her own facility, but had the policy changed across the province as well. She has sat on Joint Workplace Health and Safety Committee since 2003 and currently is co-chairing it as well, holding management accountable every chance she gets. She is currently the chair for Local 43 Auxiliary Nursing North and has taken many courses through AUPE. She has also sat on the AUP Standing Committee for Occupational Health and Safety for 8 years, promoting OHS every chance she gets. With the last year being restricted due to COVID, she was never properly recognized, and I am honored and humble to present my sister Judy Fader with the Roland Sumlak Award for 2020. Thank you.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to have been selected to receive the Roland Sumlak Award. I am honored to have my work recognized by AUPE and my peers for my contributions in keeping our workforce safe and healthy on the job. If it means one extra person can return home safely, that's reward enough. Occupational health and safety has been my passion for the last 15 years and will continue to be. The accomplishments that I have achieved are not mine alone. There are so many that contributed in my efforts, the unsung heroes of our everyday work life. I want to thank my mentors, Dennis Malenko, Trevor Hansen, and Sharon McLean. When I doubted my efforts, your words and wisdom and encouragement kept me on task no matter what. You all reassured me that there is no price tag that can be put on our safety within our workforce. My deepest and sincerest thanks. I will continue in my efforts to ensure our work sites are safe and hazard-free. It is my hope that the recognition of the work we do daily to provide a safer and healthier workplace is inspiration for all. If the work of one person can make a difference, imagine the possibilities of what can be achieved together. I want to take this time to extend huge thanks to AUPE Local 43 for believing in me, as well as my family. I am humbled and appreciative. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Judy. At this time, it's my honor to present the next Roland Sumlak 2020 Award winner, Oscar Steiner. Oscar Steiner took on a role at his work site as an occupational health and safety representative, defending the need for further protections for all of the corrections officers with whom he worked with every day, and was recognized by his fellow officers for all of the important work he was doing on his work site. Brother Oscar, you may have recently noticed has become basically the face of COVID, and what the effect of COVID is on all of our brothers and sisters who have suffered or died from COVID. I really don't want to take away from everything he has contributed. He has become a mentor to his fellow liaison at Local 3. His brothers and sisters think so very highly of him. And at this time, I would like to honor Oscar Steiner from Local 3 with the Roland Sumlak Award. Brother Oscar.
Thank you. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate the award, and thank you for the committee for bestowing this honor, as well as my brothers and sisters from Local 3. I just want to dedicate this award to the individuals that cannot be here. The individuals did not make it this year due to COVID and other worksite incidents, like my friend Roger. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. We are so appreciative of you, brother, that you are able to be here and attend with us today, even though you are very, very much still suffering the effects of your confrontation with COVID-19. So thank you, brother, for that contribution. The next individual I'd like to call in is Sister Paulette Harrison for the next award.
I am pleased to introduce Dean Walker, recipient of the Roland Sumlak Award in 2020. Dean is a forest officer with Alberta Agriculture and Forestry in Lac La Biche, Local 5, Chapter 8. Dean has been a council representative, convention delegate, OHS liaison, Joint Worksite Health Safety Committee member, and previously on the AUP OHS Standing Committee. Dean is very passionate and knowledgeable about OH&S, whether he's working on a wildfire as a safety officer, working in Lac La Biche as an area safety coordinator, or conducting OHS worksite inspections. He ensures all Alberta agriculture and forestry staffs are working safe. They are following our standard operating procedures and that they go home safe after work shift. Dean makes OHS a #1 priority at work and at home. I am honored to be able to do this presentation for Dean.
Thank you very much, Colette, for the introduction. I'm actually very humbled to be receiving this award. OHS has been a big part of my life at the workplace for about 14 years now. So it's something I believe in, and especially with everything happening nowadays, even more so. Just a quick speech to say thank you very much, and very honored to be receiving this award.
Thank you, brother. So at this time, I am going to call on our presenters for the 2021 recipients of the Roland Sumlak Award. And I would like to start off by again giving you the floor, Brother Oscar Steiner, for the next presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Bonnie. I am pleased to introduce Jennifer Corkum, another deserving recipient of the Roland Sumlak Award. Jennifer has been an employee at Westview since 2006, Local 46, Chapter 14. Her involvement and education in AUP initiatives spans almost a decade and commenced with her being elected as a chapter rep in 2013. Since then, she has expanded her role to chapter chair and has been an active union steward for her members. Jennifer's experience as an OH&S advocate is only exceeded by her dedication and passion in this regard. She mentored this role under the watchful eye of her own AUP OH&S guru, Dennis Malenko. In her tenure as an OH&S advocate, she implemented numerous safety measures that resulted in the reduction of accidental exposures to potentially hazardous medications. So without further ado, please welcome Jennifer Corkum as a deserving recipient of AUP's Roland Sumlak Award. Thank you.
Thank you, Oscar. I'm really honored to receive this award. I thank my nominators from Local 46 and the OH&S subcommittee. And I've been working really hard at bringing on the OH&S, and I'm very honored to receive this award. And thank you, Oscar, for this.
Thank you, Jennifer. At this time, I will call on, again, Sister Jennifer Corkum to present the next award.
I am honored to announce the next Roland Sumlak Award, Stephen Cowie from Local 71, Chapter 11, who is nominated by Eva Boda. Stephen has worked at Bow Valley College for 10 plus years on the Auxiliary Facilities Department. He's been a strong union member for many years. Teamsters Union, Steelworkers Union, Longshoremen Union, and then AUPE. He looks out for his co-workers. He wants them to go to work safely and then return to their home safely. He's not afraid to stand up for his fellow co-workers, speaking to management, expressing his concerns, and asking the management the difficult questions regarding OH&S. He fought for appropriate safety footwear. He stood with his co-workers to refuse work due to dangerous work for him and his co-workers. Stood up for a co-worker with allergy to carpet. Congratulations, Stephen, on receiving the 2021 Roland Sumlak Award.
I just like to thank Eva Boda, my nominee, for this award. I'm quite honored to receive it. I've been around a long time and seen many of the other recipients that received it, and of course the recipients today all are deserving. And I would just like to thank my local, my chapter, and all my members and my brothers and sisters in the union for the award, and that to make sure that everybody still continues to stand up to employers and make sure that our workers' health and safety are number one, so that we can all come home safe. And I'd like to thank the committee for recognizing me, and yeah, I wish everybody well. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
I am honored to present Elizabeth Saranaski, as presented by her local, who was deemed worthy for nomination and presentation of the Roman Sumalak Award by AUPE's OH&S Standing Committee. Elizabeth is a longtime employee and union member who has worked with Capital Care at Strathcona and Dixonsville Health Care Facilities, and is an active Local 49 AUPE member. Elizabeth has worked hard at her work sites to change the previous site conditions to what they are now. One of the many deficiencies she has worked to get fixed included the poor state of the showers, where drains were plugged and spilled out into the work or living areas. These showers were newly renovated but did not drain properly, with water flowing out in the residents' living area space. She and her fellow co-workers had to control the water flow, requiring working in water with no rubber boots and splash guards. Her first step was to fight to at least get rubber boots and splash guards so she and her fellow workers could work without having their feet and lower legs soaked all day. Then she continued pushing the management to do an ergonomic assessment of the whole work site, which finally got these drains fixed so workers no longer had to work in the wet, as well as correct other safety problems. Example of that was an unsafe condition of the hot steam tables, which carries the residents' food to them. She led the fight to replace or repair these tables, which now safely handles and carries the residents' meals safely and no longer a hazard to employees and residents. To this day, she is still a strong advocate and force on management to continue to keep and make other changes to safeguard everyone in the facilities. Elizabeth is a strong and active member of Local 49, acting in multiple areas and positions since 1983 when she started her career. She has served on her local chair and on Local 49 council positions of chair, secretary, treasurer, OHS, liaison, and bargaining committee, to name a few. Similarly, she is still actively serving AUPE working as union steward, convention delegate, picket captain, and OH&S worksite contact, again, to name only a few. She is a force and strong-willed individual to meet management head-on to make her fellow workers, and the residents they serve, making their facilities as safe an environment as possible. So, on behalf of the Standing Committee and AUPE, I present to you Elizabeth Saranaski to receive the Romulan Sumanak Award.
Thank you. It is an honor for this. The OH&S has always been important to me, as I've been on the committee since about 1985. I've tried to do my best to support the members and make the work site a safe place for all. I'm the Local 49 liaison for OH&S, so I've supported the chapters. So I'd like to thank my chapter and executive, Local 49, for their support and the education and support of the OH&S Standing Committee that supports learning for the liaison. Thank you and stay safe.
I call on Lee Erickson to present the next award.
Thank you, Sister Bonnie. AUPE and the Occupational Health and Safety Committee would like to congratulate Bowman Pringle on being one of our 2021 Roland Sumlak Award winners. Mr. Pringle is a strong OHS advocate for the union and his work site, Fort Saskatchewan Correctional Center, Local 3, Chapter 5. Mr. Pringle has completed many courses through the Union, Government of Alberta, and Government of Canada, with the majority of it being OH&S space. This strong and tireless advocate has been on several OHS committees and does the OHS orientation for employees at his site. Mr. Pringle is also a union steward and has been instrumental in organizing a subcommittee to address overdose deaths of inmates, which has been successful in significantly reducing inmate deaths and almost eliminated overdoses. Mr. Pringle also organized a subcommittee to address issues related to the COVID-19 pandemic, which created a COVID intake unit for new inmates and created and implemented protocols, PPE, and logistics to transform a regular unit into this COVID unit. He even volunteered to work this unit and ensure its success. The committee would like to thank you for your incredible passion for occupational health and safety for you, your peers, and want to congratulate you on receiving this prestigious award. Thank you so much, Bowman.
Thank you so much for the award, AEP. I've been working really hard and due diligence on safety at my work site. As you know, we've had a fellow brother pass recently, from COVID, and I've really, it's affected the center and everything. So again, I'm going to still be a strong advocate for safety and just continue doing it. And thank you again, guys, for voting me and giving me this award today. Thank you.
I'm honored to introduce Frank Snow, recipient of the Roland Sumalak Award. Frank is an electrician with the University of Calgary for over 22 years. Local 52, Chapter 2. Frank has been a chapter chair, OHS liaison, bargaining team member, worked on the Joint Worksite Health Safety Committee, a steward, and a convention delegate. Frank assisted with the terms of reference, getting the terms of reference done for our Joint Worksite Health Safety Committee. He's an active steward. He helps with local events, attends facility safety team meetings. He has successfully filed complaints with Alberta OHS officers. He listens to members and forwards their concerns to the higher management. Frank will speak up when things are not right and will make sure that he gets answers when it comes to member safety on the worksite. I am honored to be the presenter for Frank Snow.
I'd like to thank the committee for this honor that you're bestowing on me. I don't do this for recognition. I do this for my members and the safety of our working unit that we have. I really enjoy it when I walk into meetings and management cringes, because then I know I'm doing my job. And at some time, some of the managers finally accept that what I'm trying to bring forward is not to go against them, is to make something safer. So I'm very honored to get this, which is much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank. And I want to congratulate all of our award winners. These honors are so well deserved. I also want to reach out to all of those individuals who are nominated for a Roland Sumalak Award. Again, this is no higher honor than to be actually recognized by your fellow workers at your work sites or by your local or your chapter. As you may not have received this award, but you have received recognition. And I think that is important for AUPE and all of its members to understand that we all have a part to play in this process. And again, thank you all. I would like to, at this time, again, ask Brother Guy Smith to take us into the next part of this ceremony.
Thank you, Sister Bonnie, and congratulations to all the recipients of the Roland Sumalak Award from last year and this year. You're all extremely deserving. And as president, I want to thank you for your hard work and your passion in helping keep our members safe on the work site. So everyone, congratulations and well deserved. Now, each year, a poem is read at our Day of Mourning gathering, and I am very honored to have been asked to read it this year. Normally that role falls to one Dennis Maleko, who's been mentioned a number of times throughout this ceremony as being, I think, a mentor for many, certainly someone that I've known for decades as a health and safety hero. And I'm really honored to be asked to read it this year as Dennis couldn't make it. And this poem was written in the memory of Roland Sumalak. Obviously, that's the name of the award that's been handed out as well. So this was Roland actually died on October the 9th in 1990 from a workplace accident, and he was from Local 12. Dennis Mickelson wrote this poem in the memory of his friend and fellow Local 12 member. And actually on April the 28th, 1996, Dennis Maleko, as AUP's health and safety specialist, had the honor of reading this poem at the United Nations as part of a two-person labor delegation. And actually today marks the 25th anniversary of that reading of the poem at the United Nations. So this poem is Someone by Dennis Mickelson. Someone died the other day. An accident is what they say. The boom went up and hit the line. The medics came, but not in time. How could it happen, we stare and say? We practice safety every day. We grieve with the family and do our best to help each other through this test. Suddenly emerge from unseen forts, inspectors chastise and make reports. Where were they before the day a safety hazard took a life away? In a hurry, running late, do it now or it can wait. But the work's important, priority one. We can do it if we run. Need for more training? That's okay, but it can wait for another day. What? Staff unhappy? All will be well when we hear from personnel. Safety's important, it's not a game. That was the line before the budget came. Reduce your workload, that's not what we meant when we cut staff by 10%. The more we do, the more needs done. Building empires is really fun. Do your work and really care. The more you do, the better I fare. The death of our brother was tragic and wrong, but he cared, and our memories will be cherished and long. With his passing, our brother left something to do. The torch has been passed to me and to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Guy. At this time, I would like anyone who has their mics open to please mute their mics. And I would all like us to take a moment to reflect on the loss of our AUP brothers and sisters, and indeed all workers, by observing a moment of silence. We honor those members who have made the ultimate sacrifice. So please begin for a moment of silence. Thank you all. I would actually like to ask that every one of us takes time to reflect on the message from the poem, Someone. It's sad that the words that we hear and the meaning is still poignant 25 years after it was read in the United Nations. I wish we could actually acknowledge that we've come a long way since then for workers' rights in Alberta, but I can't. It's sad to say. We have still a long way to go, and workers are still continuing to struggle on the jobs. So how do we as workers put a spotlight on these issues around occupational health and safety? First off, we have to acknowledge that we have to raise the awareness of every worker on every work site and on every job around safety and wellness. Conversations need to happen daily. And for those of you who have joined us today, there are resources at your disposal to help. At the work site, call upon or become an occupational health and safety site representative. The purpose of these members is to be a representative of you on issues of safety and wellness to your employer and for your employer, and as the protection of every worker in your job and on your job site. In the locals, get to know and embrace those OH&S liaisons who over the past couple of years have really embraced their role in learning about what they do and what is important to our members, and in their actions and keeping those conversations going across AUPE. AUPE is also proud to provide several educational learning opportunities for all AUPE members. And finally, members can access links to many of our resources through the Occupational Health and Safety Committee page on aupe.org. We collectively have the ability to change the culture of our workplaces around safety and wellness. It starts today and should continue every day with the hope that it saves a life tomorrow. Thank you again for joining the Occupational Standing Committee in this ceremony. We thank our guest speaker, Guy Smith, and we congratulate all of those winners who have really stood out to their fellow workers in getting the recognition of the Roland Sumlach Award. I hope that all of you who have joined us today thank those members who go out of their way every day to protect you on the job. But I actually have a bigger hope that each of one of you as individuals take on this role of protector. We wish everyone a safe and healthy day. And again, thank you for joining us in this celebration of life and recognition of the death of our membership. Thank you all and have a good day.